Hi! Hello.
We're two rats that came together because of one man.
Adam, designated driver, baby. The rats need to be fed on schedule or they'll get sick.
Shelly and I have a special guest this week. You are listening to Great Driver.
Oh my God. So today is so special. We're so excited. I'm excited every episode, but I'm so excited. Also, guys,
Me too.
check out the merch.
There it is. There it is, baby.
I added my little helmet in the background to my little display here. My rubber shitty helmet.
Which I will most likely be giving you a substitute.
Yeah, I was like, am I going to have to stuff it like with a bunch of like socks or something to like fill it out? Like, what am I supposed to do? So you guys, I don't have a news segment today because it's very quiet in the fandom right now. But also we cannot waste any time because it's going to be, I'm speechless. This is going to be a really good show. It's going to be a little different than what we normally do. So I'm really excited.
Me too. I'm pumped. All right, I'm ready.
I've also had way too much caffeine, so that's why I won't shut up. So, okay. So we have a special guest, and she's pretty well known in the Adam fandom. Mm-hmm. She's so incredible, and she's so nice and funny and unhinged, just like us.
Yes. It's a perfect fit.
So it might get a little rowdy in here, y'all. So, especially because she's from the South. She's more Southern than me.
The rats have assembled.
Lord help us. All right, let's
bring her in, baby.
Let's bring her in.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hey y'all. How are y'all?
Pretty good.
We are so
How
good.
are you? I love your shirt.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I have that one too.
Yeah, it's like my favorite one. There's like holes in the bottom of it, but I can't get rid of it, so.
You can always get a replacement for it because I got my Kylo shirt not that long ago.
Yeah, well, love your shirt, by the way. But yeah, I was like looking for another one of these on Etsy, and I found one that like had a random guy on it. It was not Adam Driver, and I was like,
oh yeah, I saw that video. You were like, who this? Who that is?
Really confusing. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a meme or a joke, or if the person who designed it just didn't care, but hilarious. I kind of want to buy it.
Just some random person.
It's like Adam from Kmart, not even like Temu. It's like, yeah.
It's a wish.
Absolutely. For sure. Like, even we could stoop as low as like Dollar General in this sense. I don't know what was going on.
It wasn't Kylo, it was just Kyle.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm Kyle Ren. Totally Kyle. No.
The surfer version of Kylo was hanging, y'all.
I'm already crying.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep having to like...
You gonna keep crying. We get so crazy in here. Like, there have been times we're just like, oh my God.
There's so much stuff that we had to cut because it was just way too
This podcast is like 65% laughing. We're just so giggly.
Yeah. Look, I know. Look, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I know.
Girl.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, do you have a favorite like episode or like a favorite like segment or like... I want to know.
I don't know, like, genuinely for me, what it is, I don't know if it's like a specific thing. I think it's just like watching y'all interact with each other and the way that y'all like feed off of each other and work together. It's like very heartwarming for me. And I love like watching it and listening to it. I've mainly have been listening to it like during my planning period at school when I'm like doing writing or whatever, and it's just it warms my little heart to like hear y'all talk, and then of course the content's great too. I enjoy that a lot.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's so sweet. I just realized I can't really deal with compliments that much.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. I'm really like, I give them a lot. I love giving them. It's probably part of my love language or whatever, you know, you call it. You don't have to say a thing. That's okay.
Okay. I acknowledged it. I'm internalizing it. I just don't know how to react. Tell me what to say.
It is received. Yes. I know. I can never say anything more than like thank you. Like So Shelly, you should show
Yes.
Candice.
I know exactly what
She already
you
knew
want.
what I meant.
I got a package yesterday from Shannon, and I opened it and I started crying because
She did.
Oh my god. Wow.
Look at him.
Oh my god. It's so beautiful. It's so good.
Right?
You.
Like the details and like the colors.
Yeah.
I was so determined to get his eyes right. Like, even though the entire painting is blue, I wanted his eyes to be hazel. Like hazel. So that was the goal. Yeah.
No, it's
Aw,
incredible.
Baby boy.
What I'm really looking at here is the hair. Like, you popped off on the hair.
Right?
Wow. Like, dang. That's incredible.
The swoop. The swoop, the Kylo swoop. You got. Oh,
You
got
I've
it
also
down.
like, I've been in a Ben Solo phase for like the past 2 days, so like I'm loving this. I'm feeling this. That is amazing.
Yes. I don't think I ever got out of my Ben Solo phase. It's daily for me.
Candice is like, I'm in my healed Ben era, and I'm in like Dom Daddy Kylo era.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still like him a little damaged, but it's fine. I'm just kidding.
Fully. Absolutely. That's how I am normally. Absolutely. I'm just feeling like a lover girl these days. I don't know.
Aw.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, gosh, we should dive into this. Let me get my notes out so I can see. Cool, Shelly here.
I'm glad now so I can see.
He says it like every episode. I love it. You may have talked about this on your social media, but just to put it out there, what made you start becoming an Adam fan? Tell us the lore.
God. Actually, I don't know if I've ever truly recounted this tale in its entirety to anybody, but if this is the place to do it.
Ooh.
So,
Oh my god, I feel like People Magazine. Like they're the only source getting it.
exclusive. So it begins with Daniel Day-Lewis. Because most things do. I had
I think I know what you're gonna talk about. Keep going, sorry, go.
I got this. Okay. I had a very real hyperfixation with Daniel Day-Lewis as a child because I loved the Salem witch trials, and the 1996 Crucible film was my thing, my awakening, maybe. And so on one day in 2012, I told my parents, I was like, we have to go see Lincoln. We have to go see Lincoln today.
Yeah.
We must. So they
Okay.
took me.
Oh,
They
God.
took me, and for just a moment in that film, there was some man in there with a very large nose and very dark hair, and I was like, interesting. That's cool.
Interesting. Very. I am intrigued.
Not to quote Obi-Wan, but well, hello there.
Exactly. That's precisely what happened. And I was very taken by this large-nosed, dark-haired man. So I went home and I IMDb'd him, of course. And at that point, the only thing he was on was Girls. Well, not the only thing, but Girls was like his thing. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch that. Let me get the TiVo up and running. Let me record some episodes. I'm going to watch that. So I started watching Girls, was obsessed with him and the show. Show changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it began. But I grew up a massive, massive Star Wars fan. I get my whole hyperfixation thing from my mom, because as a child, she was like a Harrison Ford girly. So Star Wars, yeah, it's the best. I love it. Like mother, like daughter.
Yes.
You're like, Mom, you can have Han and I'll have Ben.
Aligned with the generations.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. And that was that. I mean, I followed him ever since. I guess that day, I abandoned Daniel Day-Lewis and Adam Driver became the prime man in my eyes. And it's been a lovely, 12 years God.
Wow. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god. Just the
amazing.
fact that it was Lincoln too. Like it's
I
like
know.
not even 10 seconds his role. He's just like,
That is such a unique story because you only hear
Yeah.
really girls and Kylo, and I think I heard like
Yeah.
as far as like the fans that came later, like Black Klansmen, you know.
Yeah.
So yours is like I saw Lincoln, I'm like he's in that film. I haven't even seen it, but he's in that film for like.
Yeah.
and he's a little baby boy in it too. Oh my god.
Look
I
at
know.
look at the power this man has. In 10 seconds, he captured your heart. He got you, snatched it.
I know. And I know, like, really shout out to Daniel Day-Lewis, shout out to Abraham Lincoln, wherever he may be, because that started it all.
Damn.
Shout out to Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, all of them. Fine, all of them.
In a fucking wax museum. Okay, go ahead.
I should go personally thank him at the next one. Go to Madame Tussauds and be like, sir, you know, thank you for everything you did, including the 2012 film Lincoln.
You should film that and put it online and be like, thank you so much for, I don't know, being in association with Adam Driver for 10 seconds.
That's top of the list. Everything else is, you know.
God, okay, wow. I really love that. And the fact that we got the exclusive, like Barbara Walters, like, all right. How long have you been like having a presence on TikTok, and how long have you been making like Adam Driver content?
So like for most people, it really started in 2020. I probably was on like, I started probably in 2019, but like I didn't start posting content until 2020. And because of, what was that thing called? The COVID thing, the pandemic. That's the word I'm looking for. Because of the pandemic, of course, like I was stuck at home, not sure what to do, didn't have much to do. So I started rewatching Star Wars and a lot of the stuff that Adam was in. And I was like, it'd be really fun to make content about this. And so I started in 2020 with like really poorly produced fan edits. But for some reason, they kind of they kind of popped off. It was just like picture slideshows with songs in the background and that kind of thing.
It probably had nothing to do with necessarily the quality of the content, but the fact that the rats were being fed, because I was very new to TikTok in 2020, and I know that people really talk about like that is like the Kylo motherfucking era of, you know what I mean? So that just kind of made sense what you were saying. It was something, some sort of content that you were feeding the rats.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was kind of, I'm talking about it like it was a historical era, but like it kind of was.
People do talk about it that way. They do.
Literally. There was like, bring Kylo era back in 2020.
Please. Oh my God, there was nothing like it. Like it was just a time of such joy and community, and we didn't have much. It was a very dry time in terms of like Adam. And so when I found this like niche community of people who were really into him like me, I was like, hell yeah, brother, these are my people. We're going to do this together. And it was unhinged and great. And of course, that's also around the time that everyone was talking about like the crazy fanfics, like Fix Your Attitude was so big.
Yeah. These violent delights.
Yes. Oh, and I was super into that. And my content was a little more, I think people enjoyed it because at that point I had been in the same room as him. And I was also like working
I'm shaking.
toward
Oh, we're like,
Okay.
yeah, me too, all the time, constantly. I had been in the same room as him, so like I was able to like recount that to people. And then a little bit later in late 2020, I found out he was coming to my state to film a movie. More particularly, he was coming to my hometown to film a movie. So I started making content about that, and people loved it. And I also did this thing called the Rat Sweepstakes, where I would give away a bottle of ombre leather cologne.
yeah, I remember that. And you know what?
Really?
You're the reason I know that it's ombre leather. That's his cologne.
Wow.
Yeah, and I bought it because of you, ma'am.
Oh my God.
That is some rat
insane.
shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it was intense. And then also, of course,
Oh my God. Let's rejoice.
yeah.
Hello.
Oh
Oh my god. Yeah.
I love that video where you said like, this is Adam Driver merch and this is the Jack Black lip balm.
It's just because they had made another one of those with a rotisserie chicken, and I was like, this is Adam Driver merch. I never posted it.
I mean, accurate.
And any box of cereal, any.
Puffins,
yeah, for sure.
Raisin
The Cocoa
Bran.
Krispies, yeah.
He likes
Yeah.
the old people cereal, not like the children.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh my god, Raisin
a lot
Bran.
of bland stuff. Yeah.
Adam, don't be boring. Get the Raisin Bran Crunch.
Absolutely, yeah. I did read that he loves Cocoa Krispies, though, so...
Yeah, I heard that somewhere too.
Yeah, I love
Cocoa
how
Krispies. Is that an off-brand?
Maybe
It's the British
interview for-
version.
Yeah.
Oh, darling. Well, what really annoyed me, it was, well, not annoyed me, but on the I think it was SNL, they had like a box with Adam's face on it, and it said cornflakes, but it was clearly Cheerios, and I was like, I mean, if you're gonna get the cereal right.
I agree.
I
agree.
Well, you know what's so crazy too is I don't like ombre leather. But I've never put it on me though. I've only like smelled it on the paper, and I'm like, this smells like shit. Like I can't like.
Different. It's different on
Yeah.
skin though. It's definitely
It is.
different on skin.
It is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we know I love Burberry Hero. So Burberry Hero. What was I gonna say?
I feel like I need to pull out my Burberry thing now. Hold on.
Yes, please do. We be dripping.
Unplug it.
Hey! This is product placement. Are we gonna get sponsored now?
I hope so. Dang, all this stuff I bought.
Mhm.
Dang.
I have a big ass Burberry Hero poster with Adam's face like this big, but it's still at my
love
parents'
that.
house. I need to get it one
Yeah.
day.
I went to Dillard's and I asked them if I could like take the promotional poster, and they were like, no.
Hey.
EDP and EDT, baby. Ha! Okay. I feel like we went on a tangent and we interrupted what you were explaining, Candice. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm living. I don't even remember what was I talking like TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The sweepstakes thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was one of the big things that I did. I even at some point, like, I did not start it. Everyone called me Mama Rat, and I was like, this is the validation, the community I've needed my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, you know, not to like overshare. I am quite an oversharer, but at the time, like, I was not having a great time. And so that community and that era really kept me going and kept me sane. And all those people, so many of them I'm still really good friends with, and we still interact, even though the Kylo talk is dead-ish. It was just really special, and I'm really glad to have been a part of it.
Oh, it's so sweet. I feel the same though. Like, yes, 2020-ish, and then maybe to 2022, it was the peak. But I feel like right now it's coming back a little bit. There's definitely something happening, a little bit of motion going on.
Yeah.
And I feel
agree.
like a lot of people, especially because that was around COVID. So of course, a lot of people have been dealing with their own thing, you know, and even besides COVID, there were so many things that people have been going through. And of course, hyperfixations always have a healing component, you know, so when you find that community, it's just an amazing roller coaster ride. You know, you find that unity, you find something you can bond over, you know. So
Absolutely.
I am also very grateful to be a part of this community.
Yeah. And that whole experience, like the support and the people were the reason that I started writing. Taking it seriously. I wrote fan fiction. It was the first time I ever did it was in 2020. And that was all because of them. And because I realized that there were people who were interested, who were like me, and I could make that kind of content. So I wrote my first fan fiction. It was terrible, but it was a great experience, and I'm glad I did it. And now I'm writing all the time. So
That's amazing.
I bet
I
you it
love
wasn't
that.
terrible because I wrote fan fiction at 13 and that shit was. When you're 13 writing about shit you don't know about, like, you know,
Yeah.
and it was about Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Oh my god. I bet it was mystical. I bet because when you're 13, there's just, you don't know so much, and like you're so uninhibited, I bet it was so magical.
Magical.
It was like he fell in love with a fan. I was like, well, that will never fucking happen ever. Delulu child.
Imagine being 13 and writing something about Kylo, though. That'd be so... I feel like that would not match.
Imagine the vibe is like accurate, but the grammar is just bad. You know?
That reminds me that my 15-year-old cousin came to me like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, I found your Wattpad. And I was like...
How about you unfind it?
I was like, okay, did you read? And she was like, I did. I have some questions. And I was like...
Well, I may or may not have answers.
The question that took me out the most was she was like, so what you write, is this like what you want, or is it fantasy? Like, I need to understand. And I was like, we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah. Wow.
But the too long didn't read is both. Both. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I hadn't written fan fiction in so long. I wrote some like when I was in the Joseph Quinn fandom. I wrote like some short pieces, but they weren't like fanfic. Like I wrote a thing of like, so there was like a bit where he was in Italy and he got interrupted while eating, and he had to like get up and he buttoned his pants back up and got up and like fucking took a picture with a fan. Or like
so
being approached or being stalked in Italy while he was visiting. And I was like, I want to write from his perspective of how that feels. So I wrote like a short piece of like that.
Okay, so those actually happened, those moments. And then you wrote fanfics about that. Gotcha. Okay, I was like, that was so specific.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wrote a thing where he was like in Italy, like with his family eating, and then there's like a fan like eyeballing him from across the way, and they were just like, you're not gonna go and talk to this fan, are you? And then he's like, it's part of my job, and he gets up and he's nice, and you know, and then the fan is obviously looking at him like he's her world, you know what I mean? Which is what it feels like when you meet your hyperfixation like that, and so, but it's like. She's a stranger to him, so it's like very one-sided and awkward, but he's there to like, you know what I mean? I wanted to write about like that scenario that he would have been in. But I didn't really, that was really long, sorry. But I hadn't written like
really interesting.
fantasy fiction until like last year when I started writing my Kylo one, and then working on my Clyde one, which I'm so excited about, you guys. Oh my God.
Oh, Clyde. Oh, Clyde.
Clyde fanfic goes so hard. I want to say though, I think it's really interesting that like what you wrote about Joseph Quinn, like writing from like his perspective of that all. That's really unique and really cool.
Yeah. And it also just shows how much respect you have for that person. You know, like you actually want to understand their point of view. Like their side of the whole interaction.
Yeah, that was a big thing in the fandom. Like part of the fan would be like, you know, whatever, I'm a fan and he's a celebrity and this is what he signed up for. And then the other half would be like, no, he's a human and he's having dinner. His pants are unbuttoned. He's ready to take down 2 pounds of pasta. Leave the man alone.
Yeah.
If you're like stalking to try to find his hotel and hang out by the pool of the hotel, like it was really bad. Yeah. Now he's at a level where I feel like he's a little bit more protected and aware. And but this was like his first year of fame after Stranger Things, so it was like massive. So I'm so glad that Adam isn't as accessible because there is a huge chunk of the fandom that is, and I would hate for them to be able to just like find him and follow him, and you know that's just not, you know, that's not something you hear about, you know.
And I feel like the way he does it too is very healthy. You know, he's a very private person, but he also keeps those boundaries up at all times, whether there's a security guard or not, you know. And he's very protective of his family, and that's always good, you know. I'm glad for Joanne and the kids, like, you know, because that can be scary, you know. Like if everybody thinks they know you and feel entitled to just approach you, you know.
Yeah.
That can be very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly fascinating how he's been able to keep everything so private this long,
Yeah.
especially his kids. I know that there's a section of the fandom that has no problem like posting the very few pictures of his kids that exist, but I've never seen him. I don't want to see him because he doesn't want us to see him.
Exactly.
And I think it's really amazing that he's able to hold on to that privacy and protect his family like that. I think it's a really good part of his character too, and I think it really comes a lot from his upbringing and like his time in the military and stuff. And I love that about him.
Yeah. I'm glad that we like share that same opinion, that we have enough respect for him to like keep those boundaries intact for him as well, you know? Because I remember when those photos of his children while they were in Italy were going around, or of his child at the time, he only had one. I didn't even like reshare. I was like, no, I don't want to see that. Like, why would you continue sharing that? He very clearly stated he doesn't want people knowing anything about his private life. You know, work is work and home is home. But people don't care. And it's like, the disrespect. You know. And do you remember, Candice, the reaction of the fandom when those photos came out? People were pissed. They were so mad.
Yeah.
And I remember like so many people posting like, how dare you share his children? Like going after the paparazzis and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, and that's why I love this fandom. They're backing him up.
For sure. I do remember that, and I think that's why when the Disneyland photos came out that the paparazzi like blurred him. Like when they put out they blurred that little boy because they knew what happened after that first time. Girls came with a vengeance for them, and it was beautiful.
Yes. Yep.
So are you telling me that Adam went and he's like, I'm gonna go to the Star Wars section and I'm gonna ride my ride?
I'm gonna ride my ride.
I'm gonna ride the ride that has me on it.
That I voiced.
Thought that too.
I would like to see the shrine of myself.
He was probably like, no, I don't want to. He's like, no, I don't want to get on it. And then Joanne's like, come on, let's get on it.
Or his kid is probably like, no, I don't want to.
Well, he said his son hates movies.
Yeah. So yeah, in that one Stephen Colbert interview, I think, you know, he explained to his son like what he did. You know, sometimes he does movies, blah blah blah, and his kid apparently said, "Oh, cool, I hate movies." He's like, all right.
That's such a weird thing to hate. Are they too long? Like, this too long. I can't stay. I love how there's videos of like the girlies, the Kylo girlies, going to the park and getting on the ride and just being like looking at him. This animatronic of Kylo and just going, and I'm just like, ma'am, I'm too worried about how many drops there are. I've been on it, and there's one where you fucking free fall. You see Kylo and you go, ah! And I shit myself.
I'm gonna shit myself.
I shit myself. Not because it was Kylo, but because I free fell from the fucking. And I'm like, you're thirsting at a time like this?
I was absolutely thirsting at a time like this.
Beep boop, I'm Kylo Ren.
Please. When I went to Disney World and I did Rise of the Resistance, the little car thing broke down in front of the Kylo Ren animatronic. Like, we were just right. We had to sit there until they came and got us or whatever. And like the Star Wars siren is just blaring. The Kylo animatronic is looking at me. And for like 2 years, I was like, wow, I'm so lucky. That was so fun. Like, what a place to stop. And then I found out it was one of my TikTok followers had shut the ride down so that I could have an experience to talk about. And
what?
Like, yeah.
What?
Who was working there. Yes. And they had like, they needed to do maintenance or like there was a scheduled shutdown or something. I don't know. And it stopped there in front of Kylo for me.
Holy shit, Candice.
I know.
What?
I know.
Damn.
Were you just like, hey, daddy, good to see you? Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a TikTok of it. I'll send it to y'all later so you can see it. I did make a TikTok.
But it's not the TikTok where the animatronic is like whirling around, right?
No.
I'll show you the dark side.
Oh, okay. Wee. Wee.
No, he's just staring menacingly.
Charlie's in the bushes.
He just hugs
My
the
stomach-
fuck from the bushes.
My stomach hurts so bad. I'm gonna have abs by tomorrow. I'm so excited. My stomach hurts so bad.
Slay.
But wow, what an honor.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like,
Mama rat getting the treatment, you know.
yeah.
Oh my god. The influence you have, girl. Damn.
My parents are so proud of me.
So what does your daughter do? She's a mama rat.
Mama.
At this point, I would probably consider you and Chili like elder rats because I've been a fan for 8 years. Because you're back farther.
It sounds like a legit title. So who are you? We are the Elder Rats. It's like with a hood on. It sounds like a cult. We are the Elder Rats.
Personally, I imagine it as sitting in the corner of the club with like a long cigarette, and like a fur coat, and being like, "I remember when I was your age." That's
Yeah. I want a pipe though. Like a Gandalf pipe.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm very much like that in like the emo community. Like people be like, "Oh my god, remember the emo days with King for a Day?" I'm like, "Yeah, boy and doll face. Hello, I'm older. Alisana tilting the hourglass. Where were you?
My
In a
God,
stroller?
Alisana.
In the womb.
Yeah, a fetus."
They placed me in a cast iron pot.
It's like I was there when it was written. Dude,
Oh god, how many nerd
Yeah.
references can we get in one episode?
I got one. You and Candice are in a corner like Aragorn at the fucking
Yes!
thing,
Yes!
and you're just there going like,
Dancing pony! I love
and then
that.
all the new baby Adam fans are the little hobbitses coming to you like,
Hobbitses. Oh my god. I'm sweating now.
One last thing about Disney, because I met Kylo. I did a meet and greet with Kylo. Did you do that, Candice?
No, it was 2021, so it was like COVID
Oh.
restrictions.
Got it.
Yep.
We went and got pictures, and he said something, and then I was like, he was like, "You're gonna join the dark side or something," and I think I said, "Yeah, I'm joining for you," and he was like, "Very good," and I was like, like, I know you're just like on a switchboard and somewhere like no, but I was like, you said the right thing to a rat. Very good.
I feel like the Kylo actors, they're kind of trained to do that now because it's been so many years. Just, the rats just thirsting over Kylo at Disneyland. Like, brother, a children present, I'm just saying. Watch that profanity. And so I feel like for specific people, I think they kind of know like how to react to like get that experience. The rat
Yes.
experience.
Yep. Just gotta have my daddy issues tote bag and just be available.
That's common. A lot of people are wearing like daddy stuff to Disney these days, and I'm like, go off. Yeah, as you should.
Yeah. No shame.
I wanted to circle in because I'm a makeup artist and you're a makeup artist, and I wanted to touch in like what started that for you, and then like that career journey, and then maybe you could talk about like bring that into your interaction with Adam, whatever you're allowed to talk about.
For sure. Well, so I was like an emo goth scene kid or whatever, and I had parents who let me dress and look however I wanted to. So I started doing makeup like
Pop off.
really early. I probably was like 11 or so, experimenting with it, wearing really heavy eyeliner and like all kinds of colors and things like that. So I've always had a fascination for it. But because I started so early, I kind of and I really put myself into it, I perfected it kind of early. I was pretty good by the time I was like 13. So when I was 13, I started a makeup artistry business, my very first one. And
Wow.
yeah, I know. That's like one of the joys of being from like a really small town. I'm from a town of like 500 people. So, and they're all like rednecks. So nobody knows how to do makeup. I was the only one. So I got all the jobs.
There you go.
And yeah, I went from there. So from like 13 to 17, I was running my own little business, and I was doing weddings and homecoming and prom and all that. Having to do like 17 girls before I do my own to go to homecoming. And then once I got to college, I kept doing that. But I was studying film at university. And I've always been fascinated by film, all aspects of it. So I wanted to do everything. I wanted to act. I wanted to make the movies, write the movies, do whatever. And I also wanted to do makeup in the movies. And Louisiana has a bustling film industry, or it did, not so much anymore, bustling film industry. So there were tons of opportunities for me to get in, get my foot in the door and start working. And I started doing that my freshman year of college and just kind of didn't stop. I made a ton of friends in the industry through makeup, hair, assistant directing, acting, whatever. And that's kind of how I made my money throughout. I would do weddings and events, and then I would go and spend 3 days on a film set doing whatever. Fast forward a little bit when I find out about this production being shot in Louisiana. And let me tell you how I found out what was going on.
Okay.
We have this website here called mycastingfile.com, and that's where you go to find all the extra work in Louisiana. And I saw a listing that said, stand-in needed, 6'3", black to brown, dark brown hair, male, military experience a plus. And I said,
I remember that. I remember that. Okay, keep going. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I said, that's specific. I know what that is. Clicked on it.
What's that about?
Yeah. I remember exactly where I was too. I clicked on it and I started reading, and it was like, we need a stand-in for this film called Zoic. It was called Zoic at the time. And he needs to be 6'3", bulkier build is better, like strong build is better, military experience required. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call my agent right now. And I did. Gave her a call and I was like, hey girl, what's up? Can you tell me about some of the productions that are going on in the state right now? And she's going down the list and she's not telling me about the one I want to hear about. But then she gets to it and she's like, oh yeah, and they're doing this big action flick in Sabine Parish, and it looks like, Adam Driver's in it.
You had your radar on.
I did. And I said, okay, so from what I'm understanding is you just said that Adam Driver is doing a movie in Sabine Parish, my parish where I'm from. And she said, yeah. I said, okay, look, so I'll do anything to be part of this production. I'll play a tree. I'll show up. I'll get coffee. I'll do anything.
Right.
And she was like, I'll see what I can do. And so she looked around, and I did have a process of auditioning for a very small part in it. I did not get it.
Okay.
But it was still cool to be a part of that. And I knew where they were filming. It was actually literally behind my family's land. So I was like, maybe I can get a glimpse. Maybe I can look. But stars aligned. And one of my friends who works on every production in Louisiana told me that she was doing makeup work on Zoic. And I was like, okay, hey, I'll be your little bitch for the whole production. Please, let me in. And she was like, okay, we need an intern for 2 days. And I was like, okay. Okay.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm sweating listening to this again.
I was like, I'm in. Excellent. And so the thing about, doing this kind of thing is he's at work, I'm at work. It's a completely different everything. You can't, you're not a fan, you're an employee. And
right. Gotta be professional, yeah.
Yeah. And I know that. I respect that. I respect the job. It's something I love doing. I didn't want to make my friend look bad. So I went into it with that mindset. It was a very quick exchange every time we came across each other. He was very polite, but he was in the zone. He was filming this dinosaur movie. And
whatever that's called.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
I wonder.
Some dinosaur movie that had a working title of Zoic that was filmed in Louisiana. Nobody's going to find out what that is.
For legal reasons, we can't say, just so everybody listening knows, but you can put 2 and 2 together if you know. You're a rat.
The last clue is when Adam goes, "Roar!" That was the cutest thing ever in that interview. He went, "Roar!"
But yeah, yeah, so that's how I got to do that. And I did touch-ups. I did some powdering of some noses, and
She touched the nose. She touched the nose.
She fell in love with in Lincoln. Full circle, baby.
that period piece nose was mine for that day.
That Greek god knows.
You had like a Voldy moment. You were like, I can touch you now.
Yeah.
Didn't you
For
say that he
sure.
like bent forward, like, because he was tall? He like.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
So he wasn't like in a chair, he was standing, and you like went up to him and then.
Yeah, because so I was like I said, I was just interning, so I wasn't like in the trailer or anything. I was out there in the Louisiana cold forest with a little bag on my shoulder, standing around and waiting for whenever the other actor needed it, or when he needed it. And so when it was my time to go, my friend was like, "Okay, go do it. Be quick."
Be quick.
I would go up, I'd be like, "Hi, how are you doing? Good, you, thank you, good." And then, yes, he would lean in, and I would...
Watch.
Yeah.
Wow. Did he like say anything else, or was he just so concentrated and like so focused that he just said hello, just niceties, and then like went back in? Or
So I really I think I was just, because of the situation, because of who he is, and because I was working with my friend, I tried to steer clear. Like, I didn't want to speak to him not when my purpose was to speak to him, which I'm sure he would have, like, when he was having lunch, or when he was on break, or, when he came in for the day. But I really, wanted to be on best behavior. I didn't want to do anything wrong. So I didn't mess with him, but I could see him interacting with people. Like, he's one of those actors who learns the whole crew's name, and thanks everybody at the end of the day, and does that kind of thing. And also, this is very specific, and maybe if anybody from northern Louisiana is watching or listening, it was filmed in a town called Leesville. There's another clue for you all. It was filmed in a town called Leesville, which is notoriously disgusting and grimy and just the worst. And at one point I heard him talking about, he was like, "Yeah, this town is, I've never really seen anything like it." And he was talking about how they were staying at a La Quinta next to a Chili's. And I was like, this is so specific. It's so niche to me as an Adam Driver fan. Adam Driver speaking about staying next to the Leesville Chili's in the La Quinta. This is beautiful. This is the greatest moment of my life.
The Adam Driver stayed at a La Quinta.
You know what? He's humble enough for that to actually
Yes.
happen. It makes so
He's not
much
like, where's the closest Hyatt?
Yeah.
Far away. And I'm not trying to compare people at all. But just as a little side note, the next month, John Boyega came to Leesville to film a movie.
Oh.
And and I don't blame him, he left in the middle of filming because he couldn't take staying at that La Quinta anymore.
It just makes so much sense.
Is it because Adam is kind of a redneck anyway, and he's just like, oh, this feels like home?
He's from Indiana, and he was a Marine. He's gonna sleep wherever he just is. Come on.
Sure.
Very true.
Not very high expectations. Come on.
And the funny thing is, in the movie that John Boyega was filming, he was playing a Marine, but he was he took one look at Leesville and he was like, "I can't do this." And I was like, same.
Okay, Finn. Damn, Finn.
He's like, this is better in the first order. God damn, what is this?
Yeah, it was amazing though that in the course of 2 months we had 2 Star Wars people show up to this tiny, never had a movie shot there before. In the span of 2 months we had 2 of them there, and man, it was the talk of the town. Everybody kept, all the old people, they meet up at the McDonald's in the morning and they were going, that real tall fella that Candice likes, he's filming a movie with a space guy.
That real tall fella that Candice likes. He was staying at the La Quinta over there on that Chili's, you know? And that other British dude. He's also in that space movie. What's it called? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, time to be alive. What a time to be alive. It was beautiful. And the experience was great. I wish I had, you know, at the time I wished I had interacted with him more because I was like, oh, that's the only time I'm ever going to see him. But, you know, lo and behold.
Cut to this year.
So it all worked out, you know. Big, beautiful, full circle.
Baby. Do you want to touch up on that meeting?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to Hold On To Me, Darling, baby.
God, what is there even to say about the Hold On To Me, Darling era? It was, oh my god, it was so good.
It's an era already now.
Also an era. It's been only a couple weeks since then, but it's already an era.
I reflect on it like it was a monumentous moment in a textbook, honestly. Yeah.
Also, like, really quickly, every single rat, I feel like, knows exactly which, like, time spans each movie was in, which peak and everything. So, like, yes, you know, describing it as an era makes sense. Perfect sense.
Yeah, like, I bless Taylor Swift for coming up, well, not coming up with, but for popularizing the idea of the era, because it works perfectly for him. I was not supposed to see the play. Like, it wasn't going to happen. Until last month, I was living on the other side of the world. Right. And I was watching all the videos happen, and, you know, I heard the news that it was going to happen, and I was so, like, pining. I'd never yearned for something so much in my life, like, seeing the way he was interacting with people. And I don't know if y'all remember, but, like, at the very beginning of the play, there was no barricade. He was, like, putting his arm around everybody and, like, for the pictures and stuff. And I was like, I need that. But it just wasn't going to happen because it was very expensive to fly home from where I lived. But I had a trip to Louisiana planned because my best friend was getting married and because I was seeing Taylor Swift, speak of the devil. And when I would, like, the day before I left to go back home to the country I was living in, I got notified that I had a night layover in New York. And I was like, okay.
Interesting.
Lovely. So obviously I was like, this is fate, like, making this happen. So I'm going to get a ticket to the play, and I'm going to go to the play, and maybe I'll meet him. Maybe I'll take a picture with him. And I did. And I was there the night before Halloween. That's when we met the first time. And he recognized me. And I couldn't, like, I couldn't,
Really?
like, it was so sweet. Yeah. When he walked up, I could tell that he was trying to, like, place me. He was looking at me like, you know, and I said, you know, you were great, whatever, did the whole formalities. And then I was like, do you remember Leesville, Louisiana? And he was like, oh yeah.
And then it clicked.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I loved it. We did that, and then the night of Halloween, I went to the play again, and he didn't meet people because it was crazy out there, like, insane. Fast forward to, like, a month later, and I found out I had to leave the country I was living in. I couldn't be there anymore. So my whole life was basically, like, falling apart, and I was like, okay, screw it. I'm going to go back to New York, and I'm going to see this play again. And so I did, and I went to New York, and my best friend from here, she met me up there. She came with me. We saw the play once, and then the next night we went back with more merch to get it signed, and that's how I got this beautiful picture. And I got to tell, I had been, like, aching to tell him something, but had always been too scared to, and that was the night that I got to tell him. So I told him that he came up, and I was really nervous because I was about to, like, bear this thing to him. And he was real nice, as he is. And then I go, so I just wanted to tell you that all the work that you do is really important to me and my dad, because we're both veterans and we're both artists. And so everything you, like, do with your craft and your talent and your time is just really meaningful. And he goes, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, I kept like word vomiting, and I was like, yeah, my dad's, like, really Southern and really blue collar, and he doesn't admit that he's a fan of anything, but he admits he's a fan of you. And he was like, that is so sweet and so funny. And I was so no. And he goes, what branches? And so I told him, and he was, like, so invested in it, and I could tell that and I don't want to like act like I'm special or like I had this like unique experience, but I think that for him, like hearing from somebody that has really been through something very similar to him, and you know that I'm an artist and I had this experience, I think it was really meaningful for him, and I hope it made his night, and I think it may have, and so that's why, yeah, that's why I think I got this big beautiful smile. And we took like 1 billion of these pictures, and I'm glad I got to share that with him.
Oh, that is so special. That's beautiful. I'm so happy for you, Candice. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for being a water sign, but I couldn't. I'm sorry for being a water sign, but I literally was crying because I remember when she first told me about it, I was like bawling in my car, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then I'm like, "I'm gonna cry again. Watch."
I feel like that with Adam, there's like so many things that people relate to. It's not just one thing that people relate to him with. Like, it's so multiple things in his life because he is so normal. Like, he's so down to earth and just like a regular guy who happens to act for a living. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he has like such a history that just so many people relate to and connect with and just see themselves in a way, you know? So it's so special to connect to this person and easy to connect to him too. You know?
Yeah, I think me and my dad are like really prime examples because obviously like I'm very attracted to Adam Driver and I love his art and like, you know, whatever. But for my dad, it's that he sees this man who was in the military and makes this beautiful art and like pours out his heart while still maintaining, you know, masculinity or whatever. And that's what he relates to and what he respects. It's two very different things for me and my dad, but it's the same guy, and that's crazy.
That's awesome, yeah. That's beautiful. That you can like also share that with your dad, you know.
His favorite movie is The Dead Don't Die, just so y'all know.
Nice.
Aww.
With ghouls.
I'm thinking zombies.
I'm thinking zombies.
What?
You know, zombies. Ghouls.
I'm thinking zombies.
It's The Dead Don't Die by Sturgill Simpson.
It's The Dead Don't Die by Sturgill Simpson.
Oh, you like Star Wars? A little bit.
Oh, Star Wars. Excellent fiction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can we add those clips in here, Shannon? Later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's special. Yeah, I don't know. He's just a very unique person in the industry, I feel like, you know. Not just because he's a phenomenal actor, you know. I feel like we say this every episode, but it's true. Like, he's such a unique and special person outside of him as an actor, you know. And yeah, there's like so many things that people see in him and then emotionally attach themselves to, you know, not just because he's hot and, you know, he's gorgeous and, ooh, you know, and he's Kylo, but like there's so many emotional aspects in life, you know, where like something you either heal with or, you know, you draw from. So it's, yeah, such a beautiful experience to be a rat.
Yeah.
I just have to say, like, when you're in the presence of him, like, I've met celebrities, but it's in more of a convention way. So a lot of people see it as like I'm sure Adam sees it as like a zoo. Like, you're on display to go get, you know, met and make money off your fans in that way. But this was, even though obviously most of the people that were there spent money to see the play, and of course he wants to thank you for coming and supporting, but when you get in front of him, he's very much like interested. He's not like, yeah, sure. Like, kind of like looking around, like, you know, kind of listening to you. Like, he's looking right at you. And it felt very safe to, if you had to be a little vulnerable, not to like mouth diarrhea, but just to kind of get the point across. Just because I remember thinking, like, I had something to say to him too. And I didn't want to go to my friends and be like, what should I say? Like, I wanted to figure out myself the word and the phrase to say, and then it just conveyed it, and it was short and sweet, but it's like he's like received, got it, and then just like And then he would inquire more. Like, he could have just been like, oh, thank you so much, move on. But, like, when I told him about, like, my tattoo, he was like, oh, when did you get it? Like,
Yeah.
he didn't have to care. He probably looked at it, was like, that looks fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That looks brand new. And you could just tell that he was moved. He was just like, he's like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I just love how you two now, like, confirm for me, because I haven't met him yet, what I've always sort of known about him is that he's so interested, and he's like, he really listens to you. He doesn't just like talk to you and, you know, like other celebrities, but he actually hears you too, and he wants to know more. And like the eye contact and everything in interviews, I was like, oh, that's so different. Like, I've never really seen somebody like actually take an interest in whoever's interviewing him, whether it's a fan or an actual interview for, you know, movie promo or whatever. So I love that you guys can now confirm that for me. So it just makes it even more awesome. Very, very humble.
Like, Shannon, the first thing I saw from you was like before we were following each other was your story time about it, the long one. Like, and I
40
watched
fucking minute video.
I watched all of it too. I watched every single bit, and I remember being like, because I think it was maybe a week after I had gone to Hold On to Me Darling for the first time, and like living through your experience, like I just felt how like happy you were and how much it had meant to you and like how special it was, and it was so nice to see you recount that, and I think you bring up a lot of really great points in that video about how amazing he really is as a person, and yeah. So just wanted to add that.
I was just going to say, you and I know you said you don't want to feel like you had a unique experience, but we did. We, as like big fan, you know, you take this journey to go to New York, go to see a off-Broadway play, only playing for 13 weeks. You go outside and meet him face to face. He doesn't have to do that. He could just be like, bye every night. But he stays and he takes those pictures and he interacts. And then we get to say something that we've always wanted to say to him that we never thought we would, because he's not an accessible person.
Yeah.
And you get to tell him how much that he's touched your life and changed you. And that's really beautiful. And then you have to hold on to that experience, knowing that how unique it is. And then your friends are just like, do you need a Kleenex? You okay? I'm like, no. I'm not okay. I'm going through so much. I had to write a fucking essay while I was in New York just to get everything out because I was so overwhelmed. Did I send it to you, Candice? I know I sent it to Shelly, I think.
Yeah.
I think you just told me about it. I don't think I've seen it. I'd love to.
Okay, I'll send it to you. But yeah. But I was like, I have to get this off my chest because I was feeling way too much. And I was like, if we're going to be exploring, yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. Hi.
It's Laura.
Hi.
Another rat.
I'm so sorry.
What happened, babe?
The lawnmower guy's here, and it's gonna get loud, and I know that the sound.
I can't hear anything.
You can't.
Can y'all hear a lawnmower?
It's gonna come across, and so I wasn't sure if you should turn on your noise reduction for a bit.
Okay. I really appreciate you. As from a fellow podcaster, she's looking out for me.
He showed up, and I was like, no. Okay, bye.
Bye.
We need that in there.
I was literally about to have an emotional moment, and she's like, Shannon, the lawnmower guy's here. Literally, I haven't cried about that in months. I remember when the first month, like, anniversary of me meeting Adam came, I literally bawled my eyes out on my way to work. I was like, oh my God, it's been a month. And now it's going to be, like, 3 months and, like, 8 days. And I'm just like, well, a week, actually.
God. Wow, the time is flying.
So the three of us need to have an Adam Driver experience together, because then Adam's going to be like, you're a new one. Who are you? I know this one, and I met this. You have the tattoo of me on your arm, right? Oh, and you touched up my nose. Who are you?
Who the fuck are you?
You're like, I'm Shelly's bitch.
I'm Amanda Driver, bitch. Just me with my adoption papers already. Like, can you sign this?
You should wear your suit. Wear the suit, the Gucci suit.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He'd be like, does this look
Adam,
familiar?
Yeah, look at this. We're butt bumping.
Not to be like really unhinged, Shelly, but do you ever like wear the suit and you're just like, his crotch was here. His butt was here.
I have not.
Because you don't have my brain, that's why.
But I like the way your brain works. Sitting right up there. But no, I have not yet done that.
Well, you said the butt touching, so I was just like, well.
My dad and my friend, God, because they dry cleaned it, right? Which for me, I'm glad about, because he was like running around with, all these other guys playing, what was it, Italian football? I don't know.
Plowing through them, like, woof.
Plowing through them, yeah. So, like, I'm pretty sure he was sweaty, So I was like, I'm glad they dry cleaned it. My dad and my friend, they were like, why? You could have, like, extracted the sweat and sold it. His essence. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No! I love Adam, but I don't want his sweat on me.
Like, no.
Oh my god, wait! Get your ass sweat off of my suit! Not the yoga mat!
And one guy would, he used my mat and like his,
He used your yoga mat?
yeah, and didn't ask, and like his ass juices were like,
Oh, no, yeah.
and then we had like, so we just had a conversation about it afterwards, and it got intense, and he would cry. But I'm not like an aggressive person. I think it just happened. I just wasn't used to being nice.
Now I'm gonna. Does that mean I'm gonna make Adam cry? Get your ass sweat off of my Gucci suit. Sometimes when we're filming the podcast, I'm simultaneously like, that'd be kind of cool if he sees it, and then I say shit like that. I'm like, no, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should not.
See, and I don't want to cut the unhinged stuff because it's so funny, and I know the rats will love it, so that's why I'm like, we just need to take that content and just snip a copy paste somewhere else, more exclusive. So, like, if you want to hear the unhinged shit, go here.
Balls!
Men, balls.
Oh god.
All because you still have a Nokia phone. Fine.
Siri, would you have sex with another iPhone? Did you see that blooper?
Siri, would you fuck another iPhone?
Dude, sorry.
Oh my god, Siri actually answered it. She said no!
Would you have sex with another Siri?
She said no! You're good, Siri. Good.
Hey Siri, would you have sex with Adam Driver? No!
Girl!
You don't have taste. Adam Driver's gorgeous. Why won't you have sex with him?
We're switching back to Android.
I guess no is a complete sentence. Sorry. Can you...
Lovely backdrop.
What?
I said you have such a lovely backdrop.
Look at that Kylo painting. That one, oh my god, I can't ever get enough of that one.
Yeah.
I think I want to make another one of him taking the helmet off and that.
Yeah, buddy.
I want to do that one and get it like accurate.
Let me show you what I just got, because I just moved back into my parents' house like a month ago. So I'm trying to. They had turned my room into the most like parent guest room ever. So I'm trying to change that. So I just got this. I just got him.
Oh, baby
my little
boy.
Yeah.
Aww.
He's new. There's like another little Kylo over here. Mask. Here, I'll get him too. Why not?
But yes, come on.
I got him. He's smaller.
Aww.
And so we're working on making it a cool room again.
Nice. Getting that shrine ready.
Sure.
Is that a cardboard stand-up in the back?
Yes.
Is that Din?
Yes, that's my Mando one. I have for Kylo, I have a mannequin, and he's not up yet because I'm building the Death Star walls,
Oh yeah.
I'm building that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build that and put it in the corner, and then put my Kylo mannequin in front of it. So it's not ready yet, but he's coming. So for now, we just have Mando guarding me while I sleep.
I have plans for that too. We recently moved into our new house that we renovated. And in the basement, I'm getting like a whole nerd Star Wars room. And I want to do that too, like the Death Star panels, and then get a mannequin and then just put my Kylo cosplay on there. Yeah. And just like have it there all the time. Just like walk past
awesome.
it.
So good. I love it. Yeah, that's so awesome. I love having the mannequins. It freaks you out for like the first like 2 weeks, but then it's great.
Especially when it's dark and then all you see is just a silhouette. Like, ah.
Well, either you're scared or you're like, oh, hey, fancy seeing you here.
Dude, when I had the Burberry poster, very new, like it was in my room and like it was facing my bed, so every time I would like wake up, I would just see big ass Adam head. I'd be like, ah, you know, like, it was like I always see somebody watching me. Like, ah. And then I just hung like a blanket over because sometimes it really would freak me out. And then I got used to it. But yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Adam, but
your sleep paralysis demon is just shirtless Adam Driver.
Then I wouldn't be freaking out. I would just be like, yeah, I would just be like, I'll stay in this state. It's fine.
No complaints here.
I'm going to use this as a segue to get into like the next topic. So I actually got to meet a rat at work yesterday. And I have a picture.
A little shimmy.
A little. And I have an Adam pin as Matt from SNL on my brush belt. So it's a nice conversation starter sometimes. I was just doing my whole thing like, is there anything I can help you with? And then she's like, I love your pin. We stand for Adam Driver. And I was like, oh, do you want to see something? Because... And I just whip out the tag to show them like how dedicated I am. Like, I haven't just, seen this in my room. I'm like, he's on my body. And so she was like, oh my God. But then she said something like, so, he kind of has like a rat look to him, and I was just like,
wait, what?
Like, she was saying in a way that he's just like not traditionally attractive.
Oh, as like the actual animal.
Yes.
I was like, what?
Not like a rat fan, but like a rat.
Yeah.
So.
Kenny Peter Pettigrew.
So I just I gathered myself. I was like, she did not just say he's like a rat, and I was just like, he's beautifully imperfect, okay? And then she's like, yes, and I'm like, that's how we say that. So I heard through the grapevine, and the grapevine being my Instagram messaging between me and Candice, that she wrote she wrote an essay in college about Adam?
Yeah, I did.
And how pretty he is and why he's pretty?
I did.
Did you find
scientific facts?
I could not find it, and I searched high and low.
Sorry.
I did. However, I remember some of the general themes.
Okay.
So, look at him. You could write so many essays, so many poems about that face of his. But...
Sorry, that sounded so funny. You could write so many poems and essays about that face of his.
I literally want to write one right now. I think I might after later.
Valid. The topic of the class at that point was like, what makes a sex symbol? Like why do we have these? Me holding the like. Why do we have these fascinations? What draws us to these people, whatever. And so basically the point of my essay was that Adam Driver was probably never supposed to be a sex symbol. He probably was never supposed to be like a big, huge, famous actor. But with shifting things in our societal makeup and stuff like that, we came to a place where somebody like him could be a sex symbol, which I know sounds insulting. It's like I'm saying that he's unattractive or whatever, but obviously I don't think that.
Society has like a set beauty standard.
Yeah. We live in a time where the stage was set for somebody like him to become a sex symbol. But I had found this source that talked about like the science of his face and like the proportions and what he has going on. And it said something about like if his nose were like a millimeter bigger or smaller, then he would be less attractive. If his eyes were a little bit further apart or a little bit closer together, he wouldn't look the same. They said whatever he's got going on is like the antithesis of the golden ratio in the best way, because all the disharmony that's going on makes like perfect sense and makes this incredibly unique, attractive person. And then the other points of my essay were like, it's just his presence, his voice. His voice is a big part of it. The width the breadth of his chest and shoulders, things like that. And it was a 3-page essay detailing why he's a sex symbol. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love you.
It was I was like 18, 19 years old, and I was like, okay, time to go. And I wrote it. Yeah.
Go, baby. That is amazing. God, I want to read that so bad now.
I know. I gotta keep looking. Like, it's somewhere. I know. I think it's on my I have a little Yoda jump drive somewhere, and I think it's on there. I'm gonna find it.
And you did, like, you handed it in, and it got graded?
Yeah, I made like a 99 or something ridiculous. Like, I've got a very good grade.
Hey! Go, girl. Yes!
Gave a presentation, like, because we had to present these ideas to the class, and they were like, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
I love that so damn much. You brought science into it, yes.
Yeah, I love bringing this man into academics too. Like, it's my favorite thing. I teach like well, not at my current school, but I have a whole Black Klansman unit that I use with my kids. Like, I bring this man into the into the academic sphere all the time.
Yeah, I plan on bringing Black Klansmen into. I also work at a school now. So like I have so many ideas, and I mean racism is like a huge issue, especially currently, you know. So I plan on bringing Black Klansmen into the classroom as well.
Yeah, as you should. It's a great tool to use. Like, it's so good. And I usually teach it during February, like for Black History Month, and so I love it. Won't get to do it this year, but right now I'm sitting in a Spanish class. I do not speak Spanish, and I'm having them watch 65 Spanish audio.
Nice. It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
And it's dinosaurs, so of course they're gonna pop off. I know I would.
They're loving it so far. They're big fans.
Awesome. Just slowly infusing the class.
Indoctrinating, like, propagandizing. Yeah.
I love that. So you're reminding me of a video that is on YouTube. This is Look Upable. And I think at the end...
we all know, like, the video with the, because they, like, took his profile and then they had, like, the lines and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah.
So they were talking about, like, how, like, he has Neanderthal eyebrows, but then, like, really feminine, like, cheekbones, but then still, like, a strong nose and, like, sunken in eyes, but they're big, and, like, so it was always just, like, these very polarizing, like you mentioned, like, features on his face, and that they just all worked very harmoniously, and it was kind of, like, also his hairline, and, like, even though we love his ears, he said, like, a lot of the time they cover his ears because it messes with the proportions and blah, blah, blah. Of course, in, what's the movie where he has the receding hairline?
White Noise?
Yes, White Noise. He has a receding hairline, and honestly, still, I know people love Daddy Jack, and that's fine. But it did ruin the ratio a little bit, having that receding hairline. He looked much older, and his full, thick hair keeps him looking really young and attractive, too.
That's true,
And then they did something that broke my heart, and I will never forgive this person for doing this. They tried to fix his face to not necessarily put him on a golden ratio, but they just adjusted, like, his nose. They took out all his moles. They changed the distance of his eyes and all this stuff. And so then they unveiled what he looked like, and it was like uncanny valley. Just, I'm gonna tell you what.
But like that, like,
I've never liked any
taking
celebrity.
the uniqueness out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've never liked any, like, golden ratio video where they put a celebrity's face on the golden ratio, and I'm like, well, maybe this one will be like hot. And I've never ever. They just look too uncanny valley, weird. Like, they need to look like people. Like, Adam looks like a person.
Yeah,
I agree. I found this picture the other day. Obviously, it's not gonna, like, look great because I'm showing it from my phone on here. But I found this picture where this guy was like, "Look, I moved Adam Driver's eyes down, and now he's attractive. Look at this photograph."
What the fuck? What about that makes it better?
I don't know. I made it a WhatsApp sticker so fast. I was like, that is so...
What in the fuck was that?
Jesus.
Adam Driver with his eyes moved down, apparently being hot. I don't know.
It was giving Steve Buscemi with, like, a wide, small face. And I'm not saying that Steve Buscemi doesn't have an aura, but that's just what it looked like.
It's awful. It's awful. I'm gonna have to go find the golden ratio video of Adam because I don't think I've seen it.
He is the golden ratio, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love that his jaw lines are different. One goes up higher than the other. I love that he has these like high short cheekbones and like these little dips here and like we'll just go on about his everything.
His lips. His like little full and then what he's got going on here, everything. Oh.
And like right here, like the eyebrows part, like right here.
Yes.
I'm just like also trying to memorize like when I do the makeup for any Adam cosplay, like what I add.
Literally, it's this always, and I do like some shading here, and then my face is so round. See, Shelly, your face is like a little longer. I have to be like, and I literally my most recent one I wore face tape, so I was like snatch the fuck up here too, and I was chiseling, and I was like. And then I like brought the facial hair way down so when I looked forward it would make it look like my chin was longer. Like I was doing everything to complete the thirst trap drag.
There's so many of his features that I see in myself, so like he's the reason I feel comfortable with my own features. Especially when I started cosplaying, because I was like, oh my god, it works. You know, it looks okay-ish, you know? And so when I hear, like, people not insulting him, but, like, commenting negatively on his looks, I'm like, ow. Because, like, kind of, you know, specific features that I feel like I share with him usually are the targets. So I'm like, I have that too, so does it not look okay on me then, you know? It just, yeah.
I just always see it as, like, you know, you have a preference. You have a preference and what you find attractive and what you're attracted to. And that's fine. I've never been like someone that's been like, oh, that celebrity's like ugly or this person is ugly. Like, it's just, no.
It's just rude and not okay to say, you know? It's just like, why would you say that to anybody, celebrity or not, you know?
Yeah, there are so many celebrities where I understand why people find them attractive. There's just not one of mine.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's the big thing. Like my best friend, she's really into what's the guy from The Bear? Jeremy Allen White. She's really into him. And like I get why people would find him attractive, but it's not my thing, so I don't really see it. She thinks I'm nuts. But she also like she's not attracted to Adam Driver. She said some choice words about him before. But it's just, you know, like, I get it, but not for me. So totally, I understand.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like more people should definitely, like, realize that. Or just acknowledge, like, you can have a preference and you can have something that you're just not attracted to. And just leave that alone. End of conversation, you know. Nobody gets hurt. Because, like, it would be so boring if we were all attracted to the same type of, you know, look.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, everyone is attracted to Chris Hemsworth. Everybody... All right, Chris, make your choice of the 20 billion people or however many fucking people are on the
planet. Well, when we enter the apocalypse where there's only big nosed, dark haired men left, like we'll be sitting pretty. It's fun.
I don't know if you saw my post, Candice, on TikTok. I think Shelly did, but I matched with someone that was literally like a carbon copy of Adam Driver. And he wasn't local, but I still matched with him because I was like, I'll do a long distance thing with the guy that looks like Adam Driver. I don't care. But then he unmatched me because he wasn't on my matches anymore because I have Adam Driver on my profile. And he was probably like, nope. I will see if I can find. I'll probably cut it because obviously the guy did not sign up to be on an Adam Driver podcast. But I want to show you the guy. Are you fucking ready?
Oh, wow.
Even as Moose.
Yeah, he does. Dang.
Definitely Adam coded.
On his profile, he said, see, it says, yes, Adam Driver, I know. You literally aren't going to accept a girl that loves Adam Driver?
You would have worshipped him.
Maybe it was because of the distance.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Yeah, but if it's not local, then
Yeah, but he didn't even say hi. And sometimes when I'm scrolling on Hinge, I'll send Shelly, and if you want me to send some to you too, I think I've sent some to you too, Candice, but of like Adam Driver coded men. I'm like, what do you think? What about this one?
For sure, send that to me. Yeah.
we can make a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
The Elder Rats.
The Elder Rats.
Please. And I can use all my stickers. I have a whole Adam sticker pack.
Yes! Dude, same.
Yes.
I can never use mine because people get like so angry. Like, can you just stop with Adam? I'm like, what? Yes, let's do it.
I went through all the topics that I had listed just so I seemed prepared. Just kidding. Do you have a favorite Adam film or favorite Adam thing? Is it girls or
favorite Adam quote?
Oh God.
No pressure.
Okay. So, I always exclude Star Wars from this question because I feel like it shouldn't count because it's it's part of my soul and my body, so I feel like I can't count it. With that being said, my favorite Adam thing, and I also take out girls because it's TV, but that's my favorite show of all time. It made me the woman I am today. My favorite Adam movie is probably BlacKkKlansman. I love it. I love it, and really because, being Jewish, it's very important to me, and being from the South, it's really important to me in that way. And I think his portrayal, there's a point in that movie where he talks about how he never thought about being Jewish growing up. He just was. Like, it was just something that existed. It's not something he thought about. But he said ever since he had been around the Klan and, like, the anti-Semitism that he was hearing, that it's all he thought about. And that's something I can really, really relate to. Like, you don't think about it. It's just, it's like as simple as your hair being black or your eyes being blue until you experience the discrimination based on something that you can't change. And that's why that movie is so meaningful to me. I know it's not really a Jewish story. It's an intersectional story, though, about being a minority. And that's why I love it. Sorry, didn't mean to get deep there, but...
I love this kind of talk.
And so, yeah. And then as for a favorite quote, good golly, just... we put up like a closed caption that just says yelling. That's probably my favorite Adam quote. Screaming, being loud. I love that. But to be serious, probably in his TED Talk when he speaks about going back to normal life after military life and how that changes. I don't know the specific quote, but all that speaks to my heart, and I love that.
Yeah. Wow.
I love that.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, now Shelly, you need to do the "this just sucks" because she does it so.
This just sucks.
We named our girls season 1 episode "Charlie's in the Bushes" because we're like, what quote do we use that's like not Cabbage Patch Lunchbox,
I tell you, one of my favorite quotes from girls is, "You look like a Mexican teenager. It's awesome."
This was a post on my thing, but like when I was bleaching my eyebrows, I'm growing back my eyebrows now because I did shave them, but I had bleached them at the time, and I was like, oh my god, I probably can't meet Adam with bleached eyebrows because he'll be like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is up with those eyebrows? And be like, what? I'm alternative Adam. I'm a makeup artist Adam.
Respect the drip, Adam.
Well, Candice, it's been
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much for, giving us your time. Coming to talk to us.
Yes. And we adore you. We got to be unhinged and crazy and giggle until we cried and just tell the listeners where they can find you so they can follow your Adam.
So on TikTok, it's Kylo Ren's girlfriend spelled with a U. That's very important. And then on Instagram, I'm Candice in the Sky, though I'm not a great user on there. But yeah, you can find me on there. Candice is Candic. And I want to thank y'all so much for having me here. It felt so safe and fun, and I'm really, really glad that I got to do this. And thank y'all.
Thank you, dude. This was amazing. This was so much fun.
I knew it was going to be a party, and it's so refreshing because it's hard to like talk about Adam in the way that we talk about Adam together with people outside of the fandom, because it just feels like, am I crossing a line? And there's no line.
Get it.
Yeah.
It's a safe space for all.
Yes. Well, thanks for listening to Good Soup, Great Driver. The soup was extra hot today. Hot and spicy. We are on TikTok and Instagram, and I did make a lemonade, which I haven't updated at all. So we should probably do that. At Good Soup, Great Driver. Then I'm on Instagram as Starry Eyes, StarryYeyes, and on TikTok I'm What's Up Shannon. And yeah.
On TikTok, I am. On Instagram, I've always been solo, BENSOLO. I do have a red note, but I don't really use it anymore now that TikTok's back.
Yeah. Thank y'all for listening. And Candice, thank you so much for coming on, being our first guest.
Thank you.
First rat guest.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So good.
Okay.
Stay hydrated and stay fed, rats. Love y'all.
And hope your Kylo Ren Rise of Resistance ride crashes so you can look at Kylo longer.
Yeah. And if you're in Louisiana, stay at the La Quinta next to the Chili's. You never know who might cross your path.
Or if you might get the same room as him, or just pretend that you did. See if you can survive Leesville like Adam did. Just kidding. And don't powder Adam's nose too much, right? That's, yep. Remember to do that.
That's right. All right. Bye.
Bye.
If you survived this episode, please go follow us on our socials that we mentioned, and give us a follow on YouTube and Spotify so you are notified when we post. Stay fed, rats. Great driver.